Hello. This is Kristina, digital marketing coach, your host today. And today is a new episode of KSM Podcast, Growing Business Online with Kristina. And today I have such a pleasure to have my special guest speaker, Farah Brain from USA, from New York. Am I right? Elona Lopari. Elona, welcome to the new episode of KSM Podcast.
Well, thank you so much, Christina, for having me. Yes, it's amazing to be here based, I guess, virtually connecting from Brooklyn, New York. Thank you.
I'm super happy to be with you today, and thank you for joining this episode today. And can you share with us who you are, what you do, and as I mentioned, you are in USA, and share about you and your business.
Yeah, so my mission is to help entrepreneurs and CEOs scale their purpose and profits so they can do more good in the world. In a nutshell, that's the mission behind the work I do. And I do that through, I'm the CEO and founder of the Life School, through, all the ways that I'm able to support companies scale their purpose and profit so they can do more good in the world. I really believe that's a really important mission, especially if you discover what your purpose is. I think our next job is to then put that to use towards others and serve and really help humanity move forward. So that's what I do.
That's fantastic. And can you share with us about your background? Did you work in let's say, in corporate, like a corporate America or something like
Yeah.
that, in some big organization, foundation, in terms of your business? And then what triggered you to start your own business journey?
Yeah, I love that question because there's always a reason why I'm here and doing this, right? There's a few meaningful moments in my journey that led me here. And I think all of us can relate to that as our unique experiences are all different. And it's usually your purpose or the things that you get to choose or the way that you get to serve others comes either from passion, fire, or from challenges, something you've overcome in life. So for me, it was both. My origin story, I guess I'm originally from Albania, small country in Europe, moved to the US with my family and parents when I was 15. Really kind of saw a lot of the challenges of an immigrant, new family. My parents couldn't speak the language, didn't have connections. Pretty much they had good careers back in the country, but here they had to pretty much start from experience because I don't ever believe we ever start from scratch. I was one of the oldest kids, so I had to grow up very fast, start translating, getting a job. Very early at 15, I got my first job and contributing what I earned, little money I earned back into the family budgets so that we can make our ends meet. So those were some of my early experiences that I really think shaped me. And then I was programmed with the American dream. We come here for better opportunities, so you get a good career, climb, you get my dad specifically always pushed for the good education, ensure that you are, have a good, safe career professionally. And then of course, a happy family with kids and all of that. So that's kind of what I followed the blueprint, got my bachelor's in 3 years, business management, finance, degree, and then I climbed the corporate ladder. I was at the right place at the right time in my career office in my college, and my first job was, in the retail industry. So that's kind of what I did. The company happened to be in the right phase of growth as well. They were looking for people that were ambitious, hungry, trying to grow and move through the ranks. So I did that. I did marketing, sales, HR with them. And then the latest role was a C-suite level. I just climbed all the time because I wanted to add value. I wanted to learn and grow. I've always been a person who's very curious and I get bored very fast. So once I learn something, I'm like, okay, what else is there? So I think that curiosity, which is kind of something that follows me, helped me out to be able to do that. However, the company was bought by another company and the culture turned very profit driven. No more future, people seen as numbers, toxicity start to come in the culture. So that was my clue to kind of venture out, either go to another company or do my own thing. Those were really the two choices. So I said, let me just try to be an entrepreneur and see what this journey holds for me. And fast forward 5 years now, I'm an entrepreneur. I have never experienced as much growth personally and professionally as I have in this journey. I did some career coaching, some executive coaching at the beginning, and then realized that my gift is really lies in the business and leadership world. That's kind of where I am. That's how my mind works. So that's where I can add the most value and solve bigger problems. So fast forward, I'm here, and that's what I do today.
Ilona, that sounds fantastic because, as you mentioned, you moved to when you were 15, and I'm also in Serbia, so Belgrade. So we're so, from our, let's say, childhood, we're so close to each other here in Western Balkan. And you moved there, and you have much more opportunity to grow and to learn. And it's such a big country like USA. So that's so fantastic. And I so congratulate you, and I appreciate what you've done. Because it sounds amazing. Because when you grow up, and as I said, and that's such a much more people, and opportunities for your knowledge and education and all of stuff. And Elona, when did you, because the KSM podcast is so dedicated to professionals who wanted to spread the word about their business and move into online space. And I'm super happy with that. So I always ask my guest speakers, what triggered you to start your own business journey? Because this is such a, for audience, maybe someone will be impacted by your story, what you've done to start your journey, business journey.
I love what you mentioned. I want to like highlight that because I think right now we're living in a golden age because you no longer have to be in a certain physical space to be able to grab on the opportunities, and that's specifically leading us into the conversation of how now this virtual environment, the world being global, you pretty much can learn and grow from someone here and there, right? You can learn and you can grab experiences. I think that's kind of how we have evolved, and these definitely I appreciate these opportunities now because I think our generation prior, just comparing to what my parents' opportunities were definitely much more limited. Technology has done its thing. So I think now we're living in this global world where, again, physically, it doesn't matter where you live anymore because you can get connected virtually. My first indication of starting my business was freedom. I've always been somebody that wanted to do my own thing. I'm a rebel at heart. I like to experience things. I'm curious. I always think that I can, pretty much improve something over time and then get it to where I want. So I think that was my first indication. My other one is the independence financially as well, because through this channel and getting a lot of education around finances and money management and all of these different areas, this is the only other channel that there is thus far. I don't know if anything's going to come up, but we're always growing and evolving as society where I can be independent. And now I no longer trade time for money, but I can come on the other side of the equation. I was for the longest on the other side of being an employee, a good one, a dedicated one, a loyal one. But now coming out on the other side so that I can have the freedom I want to create, to add value, to be, independent financially, physically, do work I love, focus on only build relations with people I care about without being forced into certain structures or limits or boxes. So that was, at least at the beginning, my I guess intuition around entrepreneurship, and that's kind of what got me started. And then the rest is just about figuring out now how to do all the things that we do when you do any business, stand out, reach the people you want to serve, get known, right? Because unless they know us, then they can't like us and trust us, which is the process of you building any human relationship. The world of marketing, the world of online, virtual spaces, it was all new to me. On my social media, I only had my sister, my mom, and a few cousins because I never used social media. I was, at work doing my thing. But a whole different world, technology, all these things that you learn as you grow a business. But once you're in the space for a while, you start to pick it up, and just like anything, with enough repetition, things become easier. But yeah, I think the other challenge is always like navigating all the new ways that we can reach the world. I think that's another confusing part for lots of entrepreneurs, where do I be? How do I do it? Where do I put my time? Because that's the other side of abundance. too much abundance, people don't know how to focus on the right things. And that's a good challenge to have for sure.
And Elona, thank you for sharing, because as you said, we met online, and from my experience, I'm in the online space for now 14 years, and I traveled all around the world in front of my computer, as I said many times. And we were starting like building like a social web pages, websites, so landing pages and other. And for my career, I travel, especially in English area of speaking, because I love that. And this is how we met. So I think that we thankful to technology, we don't have really barriers. We don't have boundaries. And sometimes you can get some people and build relationships to help you, not only just for in a business space. They can help you for all your life. For example, to resolve your such a health issues. I had something like that, or just to discover for myself. Some of my clients, they discovered my new skills, which I didn't know, because through that relationship, I started working something which I never dreamed about it. And this is fantastic.
Yeah, I
Really.
mean, Kristina, I found that that's why I named my company the Life School, because entrepreneurship is like school. You're in school every day in a good way, and you're always growing personally and professionally. A lot of relationships that maybe the purpose of the meeting is business. They turn out, I mean, to be personal relationships. Somebody knows somebody that could support you with something, because we always are looking for something, and we always learn and grow from one another. So I think when you put the heart in your heart in business, and you're looking for fulfillment and to really be really happy with the work that you're doing. When I go down to the depth of anything, it's always the right relationships, the right people that we get to surround ourselves with, whether they're our clients, there are communities, virtual, live, people you meet anywhere. I think at the end of the day, there's always something we can learn from somebody. And I've seen that everybody is, I think, human to humans, we are the best mirrors to project on each other to grow. And a lot of the personal growth will always transfer into professional growth. So yeah, back to what you were saying, I also value relationships very heavy, because at the end of the day, it's people you want to help and support, and people will help and support you. There's no like one way, and there's no way that anyone can achieve success all on their own. There's also people supporting your vision. There's also people supporting all the things that you're doing. And if you go in with service and adding value, then it's always an exchange of something. And you just never know, if you just have an open mind and heart, you just never know what conversations will lead you into. Now I make decisions like that. I meet people, maybe where should I travel? What tool do I need next? What new things am I looking to do in my life? So my goals are all aligned around the people I also connect with. So it just becomes like one, really. You just can't know the difference anymore. So
Yeah, that's fantastic. And when we talk about, let's say, when you factor like and trust, so I think that people need to resonate, because if we are in the same frequency, we can connect. And we can, like in any other relationship, like in marriage, or because when we grow up we grow together, and through that interaction, as you said, the best way for me is to learn with someone from their experience. And this is fantastic. So that
yeah,
interaction work.
you're taking me to a geeky subject, which is spirituality and and all of that. But oh my gosh, I mean, there's so much into it, right? I mean, and you feel it. I think before science and where all this information has been out, people got it. It's like, I don't know about being with in the right, but you feel the misalignment, but we just didn't have words to understand how this whole thing worked. But I think the more, that's why I focus on becoming more than achieving, right? I was trained to achieve, and then becoming, who cares about that? I don't know, whatever happens to that. But when you turn this over, a lot of our inner alignment, authentic alignment, the more we are aligned with that, the more we start to, it's like puzzle pieces of the energy field. You start to grab the people, attract, to the right people that are matching you in the puzzle way of the energy field. So you're not going to attract someone that is not at that level of energy. And the more you grow and develop and evolve, and if you want to surround yourself with more of your type of people that are matching you at that level, then you do the inner work. And the other side effect of that is that you're going to start to feel misalignment even in your personal life with people that maybe were around you for not the right reasons. But this is life. We got to grow. And I think that's how we evolve.
Yeah, and so we're, we're on the same frequency, because I really like this podcast because when and my guest speakers share amazing stories. So, and sometimes, I guess what I got many answers on my questions, which I'm just like, I was asking myself. But when I talk to people, when I talk to my guest speakers, you're so experienced in that as well. And you get something like you get answers, and it's really fantastic. It's brilliant to connect. This is
I
beauty
love
of this digital space.
podcasting. Yeah, I love podcasting. I started to learn from podcasting by just listening, tuning in this type of conversation. And I started to connect my own stuff, right? I'm like, wherever I was in that journey, just somebody, connecting the right thing. And sometimes it's not like learning new things, it's validating things that you already know. And there's a lot of value into that because you're getting clarity. The more you get clarity, the more then you move further faster because now you're clear and your purpose is clear. Now you know the next action to take because you have clarity. So, all these channels and methods, and to be able to even just have conversations with amazing people. Yeah, and about synchronicity. When you're looking for something, you're talking about something, you're focusing on something, you tend to have the same conversations. So it's just, it's amazing to be able to, even on my show, which is the Life School Masterclass show, which I had the blessing to be able to have you as well there.
Thank you
I
so
just,
much. It was pleasure. It's a real pleasure. I'm so pleased to be there, and I'm so honored. Thank you for
absolutely.
opportunity.
I get poured in, I get filled up like each show I do, and now I scaled it to more events because I just like getting people together and we all share what we do and we learn from one another, and then we find ways to support one another. I've seen that has escalated all my skills, my listening, which is very important, my articulation, communication, which is also very important in business because you can have amazing, brilliant ideas, unless you know how to articulate them clearly in a very simple way, then you can't really connect with the right audience or maybe write your ideas out. There's only two ways to do it. So yeah, I mean, it's a lot of growth, and podcasting or anything you put in play to be able to bring on other people to serve, for a common purpose. I found that from the right place, it's always going to be successful because if your light's your light, don't worry about the rest. The right thing will always be around you.
That's fantastic, and Elona, what I asked, I was very shy with, I was having one of my Facebook group with my partner from Australia, and she was always like frontman. I was in back end, and she always said, Kristina, why don't you pop up? Why don't you pop up? And I was creating 21-day challenge. And in that time, it was 4 years ago, I created 15 videos, I'm not too much familiar with Live on Facebook, to be honest, but I do recording in Zoom or some other software. And also I podcasting for ladies, entrepreneurs. And I saw that I'm much more familiar with speaking than writing content. And this is how I'm rebranding my KSM podcast. And I always share that. So it was like when you work with, as you said, when you are in the same frequency, and when you work with people who are so familiar to you and feel it, this is such a good way to start something new in your life and move it. And from that challenge, I started my KSM podcast.
I love it. I've seen so many people do the same, including myself. I think when you are surrounded with the right things, you forget I don't even care that there's a camera. I mean, obviously enough, you do it enough and then it becomes comfortable. But you don't even care about that because you're just engaged in the conversation, whether you're recording it or you're doing it live, doesn't really matter. So you just forget that the cameras are there and you're having a good conversation. And I even say that content creation has been the same for me. I'm very organic in my content because to me, it's all about whatever is coming up in the moment. Obviously, I have a clarity around what my audience needs and all that stuff. But I think if we remove the barriers to showing up and serving, then these are just all channels to be able to do it. And, you know, if you want to show up and serve, again, you have to find the methods that work for you. But unless, just like anything, how do you know unless you try? You are pleasantly surprised that you also enjoy the speaking side. So, you know, just be interested in growth. I always say, what's the worst that can happen? Try it, don't like it, whatever, change it, right? I mean, we can
Yes,
always.
if you don't try, as I said many times, if you don't try, you have never know how it's going to be, because you need to try and see. And many of my guest speakers said, okay, I tried something, but I don't know where to go, because, you know, just try and move. If you have business idea, just move, try. Ask your
Find
cousins,
the
ask
next
your
person,
friends
talk to
what they
them.
think
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, just put it out, take action, take the next
And this
logical.
is what I ask you. This is my last warning, you know, for message to speaker, to audience, you know, if you don't try, how you can get in, how you can move forward, you know, what would be your step forward if you don't try? Because you need to feel it. You know, when you, as we said many times, when your focus goes, your energy flows. So, you know, that's so true. I mean, you know.
Yeah.
And Elona, I wanted to ask you about, who do you mostly work with? When you started your school, who are mostly your students, clients? Do you work one-to-one? Do you work one in a group? Just to share with us and our audience about you and your
Yeah.
business and
When
your
I
clients.
started, I was helping startups, so under $1 million. But now, obviously, I've been in the industry for a long time, and I've, you know, streamlined all my processes to serve bigger companies. So my sweet spot is companies at scale, meaning they no longer have an inconsistent cash flow and client problem. Now they have a system capacity problem, meaning we have to now get the right systems and team in place to get the owner out of the company, structure the company out, and then scale and rinse and repeat the scaling process. So that's now, you know, what my sweet spot is. And it's companies that are already established, 2 to 500 team, over 3 years in business, but anywhere between 1 and 10 mil in revenue in the service space. That is my market, and, you know, where I can add the most value to. And the way that I do that in the capacity is I do that through my fractional COO and HR services for the bigger companies. And then for under $1 million, it's private consulting or group accelerators based on, you know, the needs of the client. And I even offer done for you for bigger companies, because usually what happens when you get bigger, it's you're looking for time. Money is no longer an issue. So I do lots of done for you projects, operational work and HR work for the bigger companies that are looking to, you know, solve those problems at scale. So,
And
that's how I
do you mostly work with women entrepreneurs, or man or female, male, or just it doesn't matter? Like,
My market has shifted over the years. I started with female 100% owners. The problem is the gap that we still don't have a lot of women-founded companies that are reaching the 1 to 10. So that's more male market as founders. And that's actually my mission, to be able to flip that equation, because we are smart. Women are amazing. So how can we get more women, you know, funded companies to get to those levels? But now my market is more 40-60, 40% women, 60% male. The other counterpart.
this is much more for male, for men, one than one half, 50%, as you said, 40% females and 60% male. Is that correct, as I mentioned?
Yes, now the equation is flipped, but it was more female when obviously the companies were doing under $1 million, because there's more of that in the market. But obviously, the higher you get, it's still male dominated. So we need to switch that equation.
And do you work globally? Like you don't have boundaries for only in USA, or in USA, or just abroad? With
Oh, no boundaries. Obviously, I'm very heavy on US, Canada, and UK market. However, I'm serving lots of people in Europe, Germany,
that's
because I
fantastic.
did my scaling and my teams in those countries as well. So, but most of my market is US, Canada, and UK.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. For all you who wanted to connect with Elona, you can connect and she can help you.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but Kristina, if you have more listeners that are going to be from Europe, I mean, that's the value here. You get to network and bring your business on this other side because, again, it doesn't matter where you physically live. You can network as long as you have a great value add for whatever you do and you're building know, like, and trust, then the world is your oyster. And that's actually the value that I bring to my European businesses because it's a different market, right? And we always looking to learn from each other. They looking to learn from the US and the US looking to learn from Canada. Like it's like humans, right? We always learn from other people, because we already know what we know. We always gonna go into another, market and be like, what is the US doing? What is Canada doing? What is Australia doing? I forgot about Australia. I got a niche there, even though our time is completely on the other side. But Asia, I mean, again, depends what your vision is. It doesn't matter because if you know how to do this with teams, you can expand anything anywhere. You just have to get the right people and the right clients serving those markets because they do have specifics. However, that's how you expand. Sometimes I do share that with caution because, I find that at startup phase, a lot of people have this big vision, but they get, they just disfocus themselves. They're just trying to do too many things and trying to be everything to everybody. That comes with scaling, with clarity. That does not come at the beginning because you need to build a lot of different things first at the beginning, create consistent cash flow, and then you have the next problem, which is scaling. And if you're just starting or under a mil, you're probably still under the first bucket. So, I say it with caution. That's the vision of the future. However, you got to know where you are in your phase and stage of growth. So you focus on the right priorities.
It's fantastic. Thank you for sharing. And also what I wanted to ask, what I wanted to ask you, Elona, is when entrepreneurs come to you and when they work with you, what is the difference when they start working with you and after, and you're on duration working with you, like 1 year, or you have package or something like that? Because this is so interesting for listeners just to get to know you better in that way.
Well, I appreciate you asking that question. It's a journey of transformation. I grow with them. When they come in, they pretty much are saving time, making money, saving time, making money, making time. The two of the most important things, which is so important. So wherever they are in the journey, I focus always on the profit side and the purpose alignment, because if we focus on the wrong priorities, then obviously you could be doing a million things, but it's not getting you the results. So double, triple their revenues right away, depending on where they are. We work on the first 10, then we work on the next 30,000 a month, then the next 100,000 a year, right? So I have a business plan that I work with them on depending on their revenue goals. And for each stage of growth, we have the right focuses that we put into place as to be able to get those results. So just typical results. I mean, one company that I'm working with right now, I just made them $1 million with one thing that I removed from their operations and based on what the CEO was wanting to do, and the way that they can take that advantage and bring that to market. Because sometimes businesses, you don't have to work hard, you just have to find the one thing and you have to be in the right place at the right time, right? So you got to have, I work on a lot of talent at this point because I've already built lots of my intuitive brain as well as the analytic and all of that. So I can just take a look at one thing in your business and turn it completely around very fast, because you might be working on 20 things. I'm like, nope, this is the right thing. Let's move here. And then we go and we dominate and we create results. So, but I mean, most of the process is very predictable because there is predictability in growing the business. I actually just shared it, so I'll tell you if you'd like. The three things that I would start with is always the
Of
business
course,
model, your
of course.
messaging, and market. Those three things have to be in place. And then we look at the marketing channels, and I look at the prospect journeys and client journeys. Once those are in place, the machine is working well in a good way. The business is streamlined, then we focus on the team aspect. We're bringing the right systems in place, automate what we can, structure everything we can, and then we bring in the right team. I always have a 5 people team, rinse and repeat until you become a bigger organization. You hire an assistant, executive, service delivery or fulfillment, marketing, sales, leadership. 5 people, you rinse and repeat the system, the process, and then you grow with new services to new markets. And then you continue to grow the company as big as you'd like based on the vision of the CEO. Obviously, that's high level process, but that's kind of the process that I have seen from years of working in many business I think it's over 500 businesses under my portfolio.
That's fantastic. As you mentioned, you have team, you delegate your employees in European market.
Oh gosh, yes. It takes a team to build a dream. Lots of systems are automized, of course. Lots of AI as well, implementation, and I'm always looking into that. However, I have a 25 people team, very strategically placed based on what I just shared, and always looking to hire. That's all I do. I just focus, scale, business develop, systematize, and get team under. That's it. And just
that's
going.
fantastic. And by the way, you have your podcast as well. Can you share with us a little bit, 2 sentences before we ramp up, and share your website and social media, how audience can reach out to you? But I will put all those information below this episode.
Yeah, we mentioned my podcast is called the Life School Masterclass Show, and that's what I do. I bring in purpose-driven entrepreneurs like myself. People are doing great things in the world, which are innerly aligned, and then their success on the outside. And they share, again, based on the area of expertise that they're operating into, they share knowledge around those areas. And the podcast is called the Life School Masterclass Show. And people can find it anywhere, podcast platform.
On Apple, on Amazon, audio, YouTube channel, they can find you as well on
Yes,
video.
it's multi-purpose. I am the domination with content. So it's inside our YouTube channel, the Life School. I believe it's Elona. No, it's just the Life School, the name of the channel.
And can you share with us your website and social media? What is mostly when you are present too? But I think that you're present on all those.
It's ElonaLopariCoaching.com. The website would be best because I have free resources they can check out if they enjoyed this conversation. And I guess the best platform to connect with me would be LinkedIn as Elona Lopari.
That's fantastic. Elona, it was so pleasure talking to you today. You shared such an amazing story and a lot of information about you, about your business. How did you start? It's going to be maybe that you will impact some of our audience to start something like that. Or for all of you who will listen to this episode with Elona today, just go and connect with Elona Lopari on LinkedIn and on her as you said, Life School, the Life School. He also run her podcast. So, and other you can find her and connect and ask her many questions which you need to know, and to resolve your problems, just like as we can see that we have no boundaries as entrepreneurs.
Thank you so much, Kristina. It was a pleasure to be here. And again, I hope I served your audience with anything that I said.
Thank you, Elona. It was lovely talking to you. As I said, have a fantastic day. And I think that I will see you very soon in our new episode of KSM Podcast. Thank you so much. And as I said, have a lovely and beautiful day. Thank you. And bye for now. Bye.